Is your magic meter running low? Well, we've got a cure for you. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePaoli, and in today's House of Mouse headlines, lots of Star Wars news and updates, plus new shows at Tokyo Disneyland Resort, and we're talking Christmas already at Walt Disney World. That and so much more, so let's get to it.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
San Diego Comic-Con International is just around the corner, running from July 19th through the 22nd, and since there's no D23 Expo this year, D23 is having a couple of special panels at Comic-Con. The first is called Celebrating 90 Years of Mickey Mouse with D23, the official Disney fan club. The panel will look at Mickey's roles in animated films and television shows through the years, the Magic Kingdoms, and beyond. The second panel is called 25 Years of Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas with D23, the official Disney fan club, and will give you a peek behind the scenes making the film with the movie's director and other guests. I'm not sure whether or not Disney's done this in the past with the classic Disney panels at Comic-Con. Obviously, Marvel's had a large presence there for a long time, but I think this is actually pretty cool if there is a big anniversary year for a Disney property that doesn't align with the D23 Expo year. Maybe we'll get a new announcement out of it for Mickey's 90th birthday celebration, and maybe we'll finally get that Nightmare Before Christmas sequel announcement. I wouldn't hold my breath for that one, but it would be quite surprising. Just in time for back to school, D23, the official Disney fan club, will celebrate beloved ABC and Disney Channel cartoons from 1997 to 2007 that included such animated favorites as Recess, Pepper Ann, Teacher's Pet, and Kim Possible. During the morning of August 11th on the Walt Disney Studios lot, D23 Gold and Gold family members are invited to come in their cartoon-inspired attire and celebrate 3 hours of summer before school's back in. They'll share favorite memories from the shows with presentations inside the historic main theater, with appearances by Disney writers, producers, artists, and voice actors who created these fun-filled cartoons. In addition, guests will hear from the Emmy Award-winning creative team behind Disney Channel's brand new Big Hero 6 The Series, along with a first look from the upcoming live-action Kim Possible Disney Channel movie. The ticket for this event is $65, and you must be a D23 Gold member to purchase tickets. Head to d23.com for more info. Now for some surprising news that happened across many Disney properties. On July 6th, 2018, Disney experienced some system outages at the Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World, Disneyland Paris, and Disney Cruise Line. I've never seen such a widespread technical issue across so many aspects of the company, and I'm sure that people working on the tech side of Disney were freaking out. When the outage occurred, guests couldn't book fast passes, book or view dining reservations, nor basically use the Disney Parks app at all. Lordy, it was like living in the 90s. Too bad it didn't magically bring back the Disney afternoon in this weird time warp. This outage lasted over 3.5 hours, which honestly sounds like a pretty quick fix to me considering how massive the outage was, but I'm sure there were a lot of unhappy folks lined up at guest relations during those 3.5 hours. Now let's head overseas to the Tokyo Disneyland Resort, where 2 new shows have premiered, continuing their 35th anniversary celebration. At Theater Orleans in Tokyo Disneyland, there began a new daytime party called Let's Party Gras. The New Orleans-themed party showcases Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Daisy, Max, Clarice, and the Three Caballeros. The second show is Hello New York over at Tokyo Disney Sea. In this show, Mickey and friends experience all that New York has to offer, including the bright lights of Broadway and the various street performers throughout the city. I'll include video links to both of those shows in the episode description. Since it's July, it's a pretty good time to start talking about Christmas. At least it is for Walt Disney World. The celebration will begin on November 8th, and of course, a lot of our old favorite holiday festivities will be returning, but today I want to mention that it has been confirmed that the newly opened Toy Story Land will be getting in the holiday spirit, including holiday songs on alien swirling saucers. This announcement makes me think that Toy Story Land at Disney's Hollywood Studios may be treated like Cars Land at Disney California Adventure, where major holiday renovations take place. We'll find out for sure this November when the holidays begin at Walt Disney World. If we're talking Christmas, it's time to start making those New Year's Eve plans as well. So at Disney's Contemporary Resort at Walt Disney World, they'll be hosting 2 New Year's Eve parties, and tickets are already on sale. Recommended for families, there's the Pixar Party, which costs $190 per person, and more for adults, there's the Disney Countdown to Midnight, costing $275 per person. Both parties feature entertainment, food, refreshments, music, and of course, a view of the Magic Kingdom fireworks. Also happening over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, it has been announced that there will be a new show coming in 2019 called Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Disney Parks blog describes the show this way. At Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, located near Rock and Roller Coaster, you'll come face to face with racing legend Lightning McQueen, who's excited to showcase what he's learned over the years with you, the next generation of rookie racers. Of course, as Lightning McQueen has discovered throughout his career, things don't always go according to plan, and he has to think fast to get back on course. With friends Tomater, Cruz Ramirez, and the gang from Radiator Springs on his side, Lightning gears up for the challenge. So, this definitely sounds like it'll be a kid's show, but I can't really figure out exactly what it is other than a fancy meet and greet. We'll find out in 2019 what this show really entails. Now for some Star Wars news, and staying at Disney's Hollywood Studios for a minute, the model of Galaxy's Edge that's been on display as part of Walt Disney Presents has gotten an upgrade. Since Toy Story Land is now open, the full model of that land has been removed, leaving more space for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. The model still isn't nearly as large as what was shown at the D23 Expo, but perhaps this means that we'll keep getting expansions up until the land opens. Sticking with Star Wars news, but heading into the movies, it looks like Billy D. Williams will be returning to the role of Lando Calrissian for Star Wars Episode 9. We recently saw a younger version of this character portrayed by Donald Glover in Solo, a Star Wars story, which was a pretty big highlight for that movie. Is it weird for me to say that Billy D. Williams has some tough shoes to fill? At this point, the return of Billy D. Williams as Lando is most likely the biggest Star Wars legacy actor to return for this film. Some more casting news in the Star Wars universe. It has been reported that J.J. Abrams is in talks with Keri Russell to appear in Star Wars Episode 9. Yes, Keri Russell from MMC, the New Mickey Mouse Club, and one of my personal favorite shows, Felicity, could be in a Star Wars movie. In the past, she's shown that she has the action movie chops and performances from films like Mission Impossible 3 and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Between the casting of Laura Dern in Episode 8 and now possibly Keri Russell in Episode 9, the Star Wars universe is killing it with female casting choices. Now, Disney did recently announce some release date changes for upcoming movies. The biggest change comes with Indiana Jones 5 having been moved from July 20th of 2020 to July 9th of 2021. That's almost a year's difference. It sounds like Indiana Jones 5 is in some serious need of rewrites. It's been delayed so long that it's also been reported that the film's director, Steven Spielberg, is now moving ahead with his movie version of West Side Story. If that movie heads into production while Indy's getting rewritten, we may just need to wait even longer for West Side Story to be finished before Indy 5 begins rolling cameras. How old can Indiana Jones really be before the plug gets pulled on Indiana Jones 5? We also received news that Mary Poppins Returns will be opening a bit sooner than expected, being moved up to December 19th, 2018, and the live-action Jungle Cruise movie has been pushed a bit to a new opening date of October 11th, 2019. Fans of the Halloween classic Hocus Pocus will be happy to hear that the book, Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel, is now available to purchase. The first part of this book is a retelling of the original film in novel form, while the second part of the book is a sequel taking place 25 years after the original story. The sequel's story centers around the daughter of Max and Allison. Speaking of Hocus Pocus, I would like to remind all of you that coming up at the end of this month on July 29th, I am moderating a panel called We Put a Spell on You, celebrating 25 years of Hocus Pocus at the Halloween and Horror Convention Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, California. I have a great lineup of panelists and a nice little surprise for you. If you're able to make it, head to midsummerscream.org for more info and tickets. If you do decide to purchase a ticket, use the code word HOCUS at checkout for 25% off general admission. Located in Glendale, California, DisneyToon Studios has been closed. DisneyToon Studios was founded in 1990 and produced 47 movies, including DuckTales the Movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, The Return of Jafar, Planes, and several fairy movies in the world of Tinkerbell and her friends. I find this to be sort of interesting. Most of their products were direct-to-video, and the home video market is dying, so at surface level this seems to make sense. But I am a bit surprised by this because DisneyToon Studios seems like the perfect place to make original animated content for the upcoming Disney streaming service. And does this mean that this is the end of the Tinkerbell movies? I'll be curious to see if some branch at Disney begins to start producing similar products. And now for a video that has been released that if you haven't seen it, you must check it out. Disney released a video for something they're calling StuntTronics. In the video, you see this technology developed by Imagineering beginning simply as a pole spinning midair and later being developed into a life-size human-shaped figure doing acrobatics 60 feet in the air. It's a very cool technology and I'll be curious to see what they do with it. Could be used for stunt work in the movies, being a much safer option than risking a stunt performer's life, or maybe we'll see it in some sort of theme park spectacular. I'll include a link to the video in the episode description. And of course, we gotta get to this week's Twitter poll. I asked you guys, which is most important to you when visiting a Disney park? Is it being at the opening of Rope Drop? Is it that afternoon nap to recuperate? Or is it being there for the closing announcement when the park closes that evening? And last place was the closing announcement with 26% of the votes, then the afternoon nap at 30% of the votes, and most of you say being at the opening rope drop is the most important for 44% of the votes. If you want to take part in the Twitter poll, make sure you're following DIZNEYCTC on Twitter. And folks, if you want more Disney Coast to Coast in your life, make sure you're following DIZNEYCTC over on Instagram as well, where every single day on Instagram Live, we have the daily Disney decision that you can be a part of. All of our social media can be found over at DisneyCoastToCoast.com, and don't forget to leave those 5-star ratings and reviews to help other Disney fans find the show more easily. This episode of Disney Coast to Coast was produced by Philip Elke, who has supported the show through Patreon. If you'd like to become a DCTC producer or gain other rewards, more information can be found at patreon.com/DCTC. Other than that, have a magical day, folks. Bye!
Thanks for watching Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePaoli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.